Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Shadow Stitch, and I like solo running Pokemon Black and White. So last week, I took on the game with Swanna, and it did surprisingly very well. Not half bad for a Pokemon that pretty much nobody ever thinks about, and as we bring in the tier list, we see it's sitting right there at the top of the B tier. So go check that one out if you haven't already, because it was not bad. It was a very good run, and I really enjoyed it. So all the rest of the Pokemon on here, though, do have videos on the channel, so if you see anything that piques your interest, you can check out the playlist link down below at the end of the video and on that little iCard thing that popped up. Still, procrastinating a little bit on some of the re-ranks. I did get one of the big ones out of the way, though, that I was kind of dreading for a while with Electros. And sure, it's not got the best placement, but hey, that is a massive improvement from its first run, so I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, though, stick around though, because today I'm kind of wrapping up this little 2-stage 4 times weakness little trio kind of thing going right here, because we're going to be playing with Ferrothorn. If you know anything about this Pokemon, it's probably that it's a pretty big staple in competitive play, and that's really no surprise. Looking at the stats, we have a very solid defensive profile, 116 special defense, and a really solid 131 base physical defense with 74 HP. Sure, it's a little on the lower side, but not half bad. It can even hit pretty hard with 94 base attack, and for a defensive Pokemon, the speed doesn't really matter too much, and who really cares about the special attack? It also has a very deceptively good typing with Grass and Steel. Despite being 4 times weak to fire, it has a lot of really solid resistances, especially, of course, because of the Steel type, because it's just basically broken defensively. It even has a great ability with Iron Barbs. This is basically a built-in Rocky Helmet. Works pretty much identically to Rough Skin as well, if you're more familiar with that. Anytime something touches you with a move, then you get to deal a little bit of damage back. Not half bad. We do look at the move pool, though, and it is pretty limiting, but we get pretty much what you would expect. We get Power Whip at level 40 when we evolve, so that's really solid. We get Iron Head for our best Steel type stab, get a couple coverage moves and setup moves along the way, like Curse, Iron Defense, Ingrain, Payback, which is pretty cool. And over on the TM side of things, we get Shadow Claw, Bulldoze, Rock Smash, of course Return, because everything gets returned, and that's cool. Even stuff like Aerial Ace, Thunderbolt, Thunder, why not? So yeah, overall it has a lot of good stuff going for it. However, slow Pokemon haven't really been the best in Generation 5 solo runs so far, and it does have a lot of things going for it, most namely that 4 times fire weakness, so we're definitely going to have to prepare for that. We do evolve up though, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at what we're starting with Ferrothorn. This little guy's pretty good in its own right competitively, kind of a staple in Little Cup, very solid in lower tiers as well, so that's pretty cool. As for our purposes though, we have still that great defensive profile, 91 defense, 86 special defense, a little lower on the HP with 44, but even okay attack at 50 is not bad. Really slow, base 10 this time around, so yeah, we are not outspeeding anything pretty much, so no worries there. As for our level ups though, we start off with Tackle and Harden. We pick up Rollout, so that's not bad to build up a lot of damage and gives us some coverage for those early fire types potentially. Curse, so our first setup move, not bad at level 9. Metal Claw for our first stab move at 14, and then we kind of pick up other stuff along the way, like Iron Defense, Gyro Ball. We get Self-Destruct and Explosion, so I don't think we're ever going to be using those, but who knows. And then over on the TM side of the thing, we don't really get a whole lot early on. Maybe Rock Smash. Well, maybe we'll find some use for Rock Smash against Lenora or something, but I don't think she's going to be too bad. So overall, though, Ferrothorn looks like it has a lot of good stuff going for it. It's going to be slow, and we're going to definitely have to watch out for those early game fire types, because there is a couple of them. There's a lot of rival battles and, of course, our first gym leader, but after that, I don't really see too much that's going to hold Ferrothorn back. So anyway, that you see the rules on screen. You can check out more niche stuff down below in the description. But with that, this is going to be a little bit of a struggle, I think. But I'm actually kind of confident that this Pokemon's going to do pretty well. So let's go ahead and hop into it and see how this line does in Pokemon Black and White. As usual, I preload my starter into the run before it even begins, so I can change my nature, IVs, all that fun stuff. So, of course, we're going to be taking Snivy. Like I said last time, if we have any kind of typing that matches one of the starters, I'm always going to take that. So, we're going to have no struggles at all. We even get a little help from our ability Iron Barbs to be able to do some damage into their tackles, so that's not bad. And we're choosing to go with the Adamant nature this time around. This is going to be a boost to my attack at a decrease to special attack. So in my first test run, I kind of did go with a brave nature, but I found that I never used any special attacks, so like, why even bother? I might as well get at least a little bit of extra speed, and that's not too bad. And of course, we are a medium fast growth rate. Again, I don't know what it is about Unova, but medium fast is a really popular growth rate. It's not too bad, not too great, it's just kind of in the middle. It's okay. So early on, though, we are going to have absolutely no issues. Of course, we are not going to run into anything that can even really do neutral damage to us. Everything just has tackles and scratches and stuff like that. So we power right through N, all of the trainers. We can't run away from wild Pokemon, though, because our speed is so low, though. So for the most part, I just kind of knock them out. It does allow me to learn Curse, though, along the way at level 9, which is pretty good. And then we can beat up Bianca on our way into town and head into Striaton City. As usual with some of these evolving Pokemon that need a little bit of extra experience, we're going to stop by the back alley, grab the Dusk Ball, and then head into the Dream Yard to do a little bit of extra training. We're not going to grab our monkey yet, though, because after we do that, we're going to stop by the Pokemon Center, deposit, and heal up to top off our health and PP, and then we get to go face off with Cheren. This is going to be our first instance of running into a Fire-type move, and amazingly, first try, we actually get through him with Rollout. So his AI is not great right now. It's not guaranteed for him to go for Ember, even though that is, of course, by far the best option for him to do. Sometimes he just wastes time just going for like defense curls and stuff like that. So not bad. Same thing with the gym trainers. Once again, we're back to only dealing with tackles and scratches. So that's pretty easy. And then we're ready to face off with our first gym leader. All right, let's do this, Chili, and we got one strategy. Go for Rollout and hope for the best. So we do have to build up the power on Lillipup, get to level 13. Simisear just wastes a turn going for Workup, which is pretty nice. So probably did not see a kill with Incinerate, and that's why it didn't go for it, because Incinerate is just that weak. So that's pretty cool. So not bad. First try victory. Let's meet up with Fennel, get contracted for a little bit of science work, head into the Dream Yard, grab our monkey, use our one mandatory HM use of Cut, beat up a couple Plasma Goons, and then head out towards Route 3. Out here, we're going to do a little bit of extra training on the preschoolers. Their monkeys give pretty decent experience. We can also grab a Ultra Ball in the sandbox. Do want to avoid the one with a Pansear, though, but we still get to level 15. We can heal up at the house and be ready to face off with Cheren. All right, let's do this, Cheren. So he has definitely got a little bit of an upgrade. He now seems like he wants to go for Ember a lot more, and then we get immediately crit on the second one. We, once again, just don't really have another strategy. We just have to click Rollout and hope. So, yeah, sometimes his AI is going to break a little bit. He's just going to go for Defense Scroll. That's really all we have to worry about. And, of course, we also have to worry about Rollout missing because, for some reason, this move sucks, and I hate it so much. But overall, though, we will eventually break through this, and on our fourth attempt after taking 3 resets, we do not have bad, and then we can head into Wellspring Cave. Plasma Geyser, of course, no issues. We can catch us a Woobat and Roggenrola for some HM friends, pick up the glitched rare candy on our way into Nacrene City. Cheren's going to meet us and hook us up with some Chesto berries, and then we're going to head straight into Pinwheel Forest. So we can grab the TM for Rock Smash right here, which is pretty nice, and then head down to face off with my boy Kita. He's the guy with the 3 Temple trainers. He is easily the best trainer in this forest for good experience. Sure, they're a little bit annoying sometimes, especially with slower Pokemon like this with Supersonic, but it's definitely very worth it. After that, we can catch a Temple of our own, battle the nurse, so we have that little healing spot set up, and then head back into town, deposit our team, buy a couple potions, face off with N, he's no problem, and then head into the gym. On the first gym trainer, though, I do kind of not pay attention, and I actually get blasted by a bide from the trainer's Patrat, so I do take one blackout there, which is a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, just pay attention a little bit more, that's all I gotta say. Other than that, no issues in the gym, and we can face off with Lenora. On paper, this fight should be pretty much free. We got Curse, so we can counteract that Intimidate and give us a little bit of a defense boost, so her takedowns and stuff are doing absolutely no damage, and we could just build up a rollout. Watchog comes out, Retaliate still does quite a bit, but we have that Chesto Berry, and then we can blast her with a full power rollout to gain our second badge. Not half bad. Love to see it. Easy peasy. Always great whenever we don't really have to worry about Lenora. So let's go see the plasma dude steal a skull for some reason and chase them into Pinwheel Forest. As we make our way through here, I'm going to do my best to avoid everything. I do miss a shaky grass encounter because I just did not want to go back for it, which really sucks. That could have been kind of nice to get a little boost of experience, but it is what it is. At level 21 here, though, we do learn Gyro Ball. Now, in competitive and just in general, you'd think this would be a really good move for us to have. However, there is a lot of downsides to it for us. So, for one, it only has 5 PP. That's not a lot. We do try our best to limit as much healing as possible. And sure, it does more damage based on how slow you are compared to your opponent. And for a super slow Pokemon, you think that'd be great. But you got to remember, we're solo running this Pokemon, so all of the experience is going to be funneled into us, so we will get drastically over-leveled the farther we go into the game, so we will actually be gaining speed advantage over some of these Pokemon. As we see, like, we're even faster than some of these you know, Patrats and stuff like that, so Gyro Ball would not be doing too much damage. So yeah, overall, that's pretty much all to say. Gyro Ball, it is a good move. It's going to have some niche use, but it's not really that great for us. So after we mop up all the plasma dudes, we're going to actually forget to battle the bridge trainers. Oops. And then I'm going to head in here, grab the Quick Claw, which, spoiler alert, I don't think I ever actually used in the run, but, you know, it's not bad for a super slow Pokemon. We're going to cross this gorgeous Skyla bridge and then head into Castelia City. Alright, big city time, and we got our usual chores. We're going to grab rest to get a little bit of massage. I feel so bad for that girl having to give a Ferrothorn a massage, but yeah, it is what it is. That's her job after all. So then we're going to grab the Eviolite on the North Street and go straight to the gym. We don't really need to worry about doing extra training. We should be able to plow through this entire gym, no problem whatsoever, and then face off with Berg. Once again, super simple strategy. We are going to set up a single curse and then just spam rollout. So roll out onto the Whirlwind, takes a couple hits, but that lets us build up the power, so that's cool. Dwebble, that drops as well. Levani, is it going to waste our time with Protect? No, it's not, so it's going to drop to the max power rollout. There we go, easy peasy, third gym badge. Let's head on out of here. Against Bianca, we do cut it pretty dang close thanks to missing a rollout and then getting yawned, which really sucks. But thankfully, we are able to just barely hang on and then make our way through this fight. So we heal up at the house, battle the couple of extra fisherman trainers for some good experience. Once again, shout outs to my boy Andrew, and we also learn Iron Defense, which is going to be very useful in the next fight. So let's face off with Cheren. So for Cheren, I had to get Iron Defense before I fought him. I knew that because his Pig Knight does have a fire type move, but it is Flame Charge. So hopefully with enough defense boosts, we are going to be able to make that happen. So the problem though is the Pidove does have for one special moves, but it also has Leer to lower our defenses. So we end up still taking a mountain of damage as we miss rollout. Thankfully though, we are able to just barely muscle our way through. We do miss on Pansage. Once again, rollout sucks, but nothing else in the backs is going to be able to do damage. So cutting it incredibly close there. That could have gone very poorly, but overall, not half bad, and we can head into Nimbasa City. After chasing off the plasma guys, we get a bike from some old guy, have a quick chat with Bianca, and then we're set free into Nimbasa for our regular chores. So first things first, of course, we're going to grab the TM for return over here. Of course, great neutral stab coverage for everything else. And then I'm also going to be grabbing my hyper potions. So we can't get as many as that we really need for the whole run, but this is something that I've incorporated a little bit more, and I'm also going to top off at the Pokemon Center here. Then we're going to head over here, grab the HM for strength, and then head into the amusement park for our wonderful date with N. So we've had a couple hiccups so far, but N is going to be our first major roadblock. First problem, he has Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb, sure, on its own is not going to be doing too much, but that residual damage is not affected by our defense. Second, he has Mud Slap, so he is significantly lowering our consistency by lowering our accuracy, and because of that, the Darumaka can come in. Sure, we live a Fire Punch, but we can't hit it with our rollout, and I take a reset. Unfortunately, I'm dumb and I forgot to save, so I have to do the Cheren fight all over again. Thankfully, we actually get through it first try, so that's pretty good, and then we can get right back to it with N. Blackouts versus resets right here are pretty much about the same because you do have to do the whole Ferris wheel cutscene anyway. So I think that it's pretty comparable. Just might as well take the blackout, get the whatever experience you gained in the battle, and then give it another attempt. So I am trying my best to make a rollout work here, mostly just because I want to keep rollout. I need Iron Defense, I really need to keep Curse, and I want to keep Metal Claw for my stab, so I at least have some kind of stab move. I think that I was being really stubborn here, trying to keep rollout, because eventually I will break, and I will just teach return over rollout. So, yeah, that's, maybe caused me a couple more resets, but eventually I finally break through all of the nonsense, and N lets us pass. So yeah, this was a nightmare of a fight, but we make it through, thankfully, and we're able to finally head into the gym. Gym trainers, no problems. Let's face off with Elesa. Alright, let's do this, Elesa. She does have fire move in the back, but I'm not too stressed. I'm just going to curse up a couple of times right here and then just start spamming out returns. I did kind of want to keep rollout so I could just make this fight a little bit faster as the Zip Striker comes in. Our boosted return is not going to be doing too much, but that Flame Charge did absolutely nothing, and we're able to make our way through this fight pretty easily. We don't even get staticked, so that's pretty sweet, and then we can get our 4th gym badge and head out towards Route 5. Of course, we face off with Cheren here. He does have that Pig Knight in the back still, and he leads off with Liepard. This is easily his most annoying lead. Unfortunately, though, I did kind of forget to give an Ether to Curse, and I think I was a little too hasty teaching Rock Smash here over Iron Defense. This definitely could have been very useful because he hits me with a Torment, which means that I have to take multiple hits of Flame Charge before I can take him out, and I do take another reset right here. Second try around, though, we avoid the torments. We're able to set, use my ether and set up enough, so it's no problems, and we can power through his whole team, beat up a couple toddlers, and head into Driftveil City. Usual stuff at the start here. We're going to grab the PP up in the trash can, as well as the ether and the protein in the grass over there. But we get to listen to the music a little bit longer because I get to talk about the demon watchhogs. So there is a couple of watchhogs on these plasma goons right here that are really annoying. A demon watchhog consists of a watchhog that has the combinations of Super Fang, Hypnosis, and Confuse Ray. The ones in here do have Crunch, so they at least have another attacking move, but some of the later ones, they're just even more annoying. So I call these demon watchhogs because if you remember in my Volibee run or some of my other kind of slower Pokemon runs, they are a massive pain and they can actually cause a lot of problems. So I'm actually taking that into account, and I'm actually going to be saving in front of these demon watchhog trainers just to be safe. So thankfully though, none of the ones here in the cold storage give us any problems, so that's really nice, and we can head into the gym. Alright, let's do this, Clay. His gym trainers, no problem, of course. We are neutral to ground, so that's pretty good. However, his Croc is just the worst. It has Swagger, it has Torment, can get defense drops with Crunch, like, it just sucks. So, thankfully, we are able to get through. We take a ton of damage from Swagger, and we're able to make our way through the Excadrill. We are Tormented. Return is going to be enough to get the knockout, even though we hang on with only 10 HP. Holy crap. So yeah, that sucks. So, sure, we did have a Person Berry that we picked up when we caught our Tympole, but I'm really needing to save that for later. And I just didn't really feel like catching 2 Tympoles. It just would have wasted a little bit too much time, in my opinion. So we're able to still make our way through that fight. It gets a little bit sketchy, but not bad. So we're going to stop by here, heal up, grab our team, grab some max repels and hyper potions, take care of Bianca on our way out of town. Thankfully, she's not really a problem right now, especially because we have the rain on our side to help us out a little bit, and then we can head into Chargestone Cave. As we make our way through the gauntlet, we, of course, run into more demon watchhog problems, so I am going to be safety saving right here. However, it's not just the demon watchhogs we have to worry about right now. We have to worry about also nonsense like Mudslap and Swagger Sandiles, which means that we have to deal with Swagger nonsense again on top of accuracy shenanigans. We do learn self-destruct, no thank you. And then he also's got a Scraggy with, what do you know, Swagger and Brick Breaks and stuff like that. So we just take so much damage. Then the Demon Watchhog comes out, sure has Super Fang, but we smack ourselves in confusion and we take a reset. This sucks. So at least we saved in front of him. So I do take one more reset on this same trainer, but after that, thankfully, I'm happy to report no more other demon watchhog problems. So that's awesome. We can head downstairs. We do have one trainer down here that has the Zepstrika with flame charge, but no real problems. We can grab the bright powder and the rare candy, deal with N on the way out of the cave. He's no issue whatsoever, and we can head into Mistralton City. As we make our way through Route 7, we're going to grab the PP up, and we are really close to evolving. So as we're climbing the tower, the first trainer we run into, we are going to get to level 40 and evolve. We finally also get a grass type move, so we are more than just a grass type defensively now. Power Whip, sure, it doesn't have the best accuracy, but it hits really hard, so that's pretty good. So I can't really complain. After that, we're going to heal up at the Fat Fish Nurse and meet up with Skyla at the top. At the top of the tower, we can ring that bell to send Skyla back to the gym, and then also let me say, hey, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching this video. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. So we're going to put the YouTuber shill on pause, though, because we're going to fly over to Driftvale City and grab the Shell Bell. This has been a great item for especially slow Pokemon. It allows them to counteract some of the a lot of the extra damage that they have to take because they are so slow. Sure, it's not a ton of healing, but you know, some healing is better than none, so that's not too bad. We're going to make our way back through the gym. Gym trainers are not going to cause us any problems, thankfully, so that's pretty cool. So we can just get back to the YouTuber nonsense. So yeah, funny internet number going up makes me feel good. So if you just ran into this video randomly, I do these solo challenges at least once a week. in Pokemon Black and White. My goal is to do one for every evolution line of the Unova Pokemon, and then maybe we'll go from there. So yeah, overall, that's pretty much about it. I have a Discord link down below. You can follow me to keep track of my solo runs, as well as progress on my my ROM hack, Vanta Black. I'm making a kind of difficulty hack of Pokemon Black here because it is my favorite game, so why not have some fun with that? So anyway, let's make our way through the rest of these gym trainers and face off with Skyla. All right, let's go. So her Swoobat is completely free to set up. She can't really do too much damage. It only has acrobatics, and that doesn't really matter. So we're able to set up a couple curses and then just start going to town with Return. So Shell Bell definitely putting in work right here. We're able to actually end the battle at full health, get to level 43, and there we go. Easy peasy. 6th gym badge, moving on. Over on Route 7, we're going to stop by the Healing House to top ourselves off and then face off with Cheren. Now that we got the rain on our side, no problems whatsoever. Let's go. We're fully evolved now, and we got quite a bit of power behind us, so he's no issues here today. So that's pretty sweet. So as we make our way through Twist Mountain, pretty much nothing is going to stand in our way. We're not really going to be going out of our way for anything, and then we can head straight into Icarus City. On our way through the gym here, though, of course, it's an ice type gym. We're a steel type. We're not really too afraid of anything right here. We are going to battle the extra trainer, though, so I can get Iron Head before Brycen, but other than that, no problems and nothing out of the ordinary, so let's face off with the man himself. Say it with me, folks. Brycen is an absolute joke. I swear, nobody ever really says it with me. Like, come on, do you guys actually say it with me? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Personberry for the swagger. That dies. Cragonal dies. Yeah, this is free. So, even with a super slow Pokemon like this, all you need is a Personberry because his Beartic just loves going for swagger, and you can just power right through him. No problems. Let's get on out of here. Alright, Dragonspiral time, so it's time for story time. So I don't really got too much of a story, I just kind of want to share you guys some of the progress that I've been making on my ROM hack. So, as I mentioned, my ROM hack is called Pokemon Vanta Black. It is a ROM hack of Black 1, because it is my favorite game in the series. That's why I do these solo runs and all that fun stuff after all. And I'll be completely straight with you. I am recording this audio literally the day before this video comes out. Normally, I try to do my audio, at least I'll record the commentary for it like a couple days or at least a week in advance, but I've been so going hard on work progress and working on my ROM hack that I've been that's where all of my ADHD has been going to. So yeah, it is bearing some pretty sweet fruits though. So I have pretty much completely finished the main story, and I am moving into post-game content right now. So I've gotten a lot better at scripting events. Maybe I'll throw like a little video of the Thunderous event that I added into the game, which is pretty cool. So, and I'm just getting a lot better at stuff. So of course, shout outs to all of the people in the Discord and stuff like that, that are helping me. So it's not a one-man show, of course, but it's just really cool. So the current release that's out publicly right now is a very basic. It's pretty much just gym leaders and like rival battles and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm loving working on this ROM hack. It is coming together very nicely, and not to toot my own horn very much, but I think it's going to be probably the best freaking Generation 5 ROM hack, at least for a little while, whenever it comes out. So that's pretty cool. So or Black and White 1, let's be real. Black and White 2 just has way more going for it, and I get that. But Black and White 1 is kind of neglected, and that's not taking away anything from Drayano's like Blaze Black or Vintage White or anything like that, but I feel like I'm really making something a little bit extra special right here. So yeah, this is just having a ton of fun with it. So yeah, if you're interested, you can, like I said, check out the Discord. You can follow up for updates on how that's going. But it's just, I've just been having so much fun working on my ROM hack. So we're going to check out N's fancy new dragon and then get on out of this and head to the desert. Before we head into the desert, though, we're going to stop by the subway station, take a train over to Anvil Town to grab a rare candy there. Grab one over on Route 16 behind the cut tree we didn't grab earlier. Then head into the desert. No problem in the gauntlet. We're going to pick up an extra PP up as well as a candy on our way out. Push a boulder out of the way on Route 2 to grab one more right there, and then meet up and have a little bit of a powwow with everybody at Nat Green. Get a funny looking rock and head into Pinwheel Forest. So I did forget, like I said earlier, to battle the gym trainers, so we have to do that before we pick up the rare candy here, and then we can fly back to Icarus to progress with the plot. Alright, let's do this, Bianca. So we have the rain on our side once again, so no fire moves are going to be too scary. We can set up Curse on the Stoutland, and once we get to +2, that should be all that we really need. Ironhead is going to take that out. Simisear comes out, only does about half with the Flame Burst, and that Shell Bell is going to start healing away. So Power Whip onto the Samurott, why not? Let's just nuke that out of existence. Musharna comes out, actually does live in Ironhead, just barely, but all she can really do is waste our time a little bit with some heals. I'd switch it up to Power Whip just to finish it off a little bit faster. Probably should have done that a turn earlier, but no big deal. And then we can head into Route 9. We're actually going to stop by the shopping mall here. Sure, we usually do this for special attackers, but I'm actually going to be grabbing HP ups. So we don't really have too much use for speed EVs anymore. We have picked up quite a bit along the way just because you naturally get a ton of them. So I am going to try to fill in some of those gaps with some HP to give us a little bit more bulk, so might as well. So after that, we're going to head into Opelucid, get a little bit of a lore dump, make our way through the gym trainers. There are no problems, and then we can face off with our final gym leader. Alright, let's do this, Drayden. So we're going to set up a couple of curses. His Fracture is just going to sit over there and try to dance, and after +2, once again, Ironhead is just going to go to town. So Dread again drops to another Ironhead. We do take a little bit of damage from the rough skin, no big deal. And then Haxorus goes down after it just tries to dance a little bit. So no problems whatsoever. We have 8 gym badges. Let's head out towards Route 10 and meet up with Cheren. So this battle, we can't really afford to set up. For one, Unpheasant has Taunt, it loves going for it. 2, Air Slash is a special move and it can flinch. And 3, we need to be faster than the Embor at -1 whenever we go for Bulldoze, because that Flamethrower hurts. Thankfully, we are able to heal up a little bit with our Shell Bell, so we are in a decent enough position for the Liepard and, of course, the Simisage in the back. But, yeah, that is absolutely absurd that we were actually able to live that. And it's all thanks to those HP ups that we picked up. Let's go. So I definitely think I need to expand my thought process behind vitamin usage, because HP ups came in clutch in this run, and whenever I re-ranked our Manitan, I even incorporated irons, so that's pretty cool. So after all of that nonsense, we're going to do a little bit of extra training, head into Victory Road, and grab the rare candy across the puddle, do a little bit more minimal training, heal up at the doctor, and then pop out at the league at level 57. Before we get things going, though, we are going to be dumping all of our rare candies. Don't need Flash Cannon. Get to level 65 before we are ready to face off with the Elite Four. And yeah, you saw it, Grimsley is up first, so he on paper should be not too bad. We do have to deal with Sand Attack shenanigans, but we have enough defense to hopefully make our way through. Crocodile is going to come out. Earthquake does absolutely nothing. We're just missing a little bit too much, and we do take quite a few Earthquakes, but that's okay. Bisharp comes out. We're going to go for that boosted Rock Smash. More misses. More misses. Holy crap. We will eventually get through this because all of his moves are physical. Liepard just does a little bit of extra damage to itself, and there we go. We finally break through. So Grimsley, annoying, but pretty easy. Alright, let's go, Caitlyn. So we're just going to go straight for attacks right here. We're actually faster than everything. We actually get a critical hit onto the Reuniclus, so that's great. Don't have to worry about Focus Blast shenanigans right there. And we're pretty much two-shotting everything other than the Sigilif as well. So they can't really do any damage to us. They have no other fighting type moves or anything like that. So just weak psychics and stuff like that going into us. Flinch onto the Musharna. Why not, I guess. I'll just switch it up, go for a power whip, try to save some PP. Miss a couple times. But yeah, she is no threat. Moving on. Marshall is a bit of a threat with his fighting type moves. Throw can also lower speed with Bulldoze, which is not great. So we take that and a massive hit. So Conkeldurr is able to come out with Hammer Arm, does a ton of damage. So after he heals, though, we are faster again, thanks to him lowering his own speed, but we're just way too low for the jump kick from the Mienshao, so we take a second reset right here. So this one is relatively easy. Just kind of hope we can power through his team one way or the other. Just maybe don't get speed dropped by the throw. Then we go for Iron Head, and we just flinch the throw. So that works too. Not bad. Conkeldurr comes out, and we do take a lot of damage from the Hammer Arm, but we're in a much better position than we were the first time around as Mienshao comes out. Jump Kick does do a ton of damage still, not gonna lie, but we're able to knock it out. Sock, we barely lived the Karate Chop. The Iron Barbs breaks his sturdy, and we're able to finish it off with one Iron Head. There we go. And moving on to the major problem of the run. Alright, Chantal. We have a single strategy right here. Set up a couple curses, no problems for everything else. We got Resto Chesto for the Will-O-Wisp. Who really cares? After we knock out this Cofagrigus, though, the big problem comes out because Chandelure is immediately going to make an appearance and cook us with a Fire Blast. This means that we have to dodge a Fire Blast. We do have Bright Powder helping us out a little bit, but this is literally our only play. Like, at least, you know, reasonably. Sure, maybe we can level up to level 100 or something and do it, but yeah, that's just obviously not going to work with, you know, as a speedrun kind of thing. It's going to be really slow, so, yeah, that's pretty much about it. We will eventually get through this because she will eventually miss a Fire Blast, but it's going to take a little bit of a while. Surprisingly, not as long as I thought, though, because as we knock out this Cofagrigus, our reset counter is only at 13, and we're able to dodge the Fire Blast and knock out the Chandelure with Bulldoze. So Golurk can't really do too much to us. Jellicent can be a little bit annoying, but because it does live, but other than that, no problems. And there we go. We have completed the league. Honestly, thought I was going to be there for a lot longer, but you know what? It is what it is. Sometimes you just get good luck with the dodge. So let's go ahead and see how Aldr's dealing with that. And summons his gigantic castle out of the ground somehow, and it's up to us to chase him down through it and take him out. So yeah, I can't really blame you, Aldr. This one's gonna be a little bit of a tough fight. I can't really say too much. So as we make our way through the castle, we're gonna grab the one candy in End's room so we can pop it and get up to level 68 over a damage rounding threshold and face off with the man himself in the throne room. By having a full party, we can deny adding Reshiram to it so we can lead off Zekrom v Ferrothorn. So I did say this was going to be a hard fight, but it actually is pretty consistent. So we can set up a couple of curses right here. Our first Bulldoze is not quite enough to knock out the Zekrom, so we're going to set up one more, knock it out on the following turn. Cling Clang comes in, but that's a Zoroark, and we actually live the Flamethrower. Let's go. Vanillux is going to come out. It's going to set up Hail for some reason, sure. And then Kling comes out, and now we can rest because he is not going to be able to do too much to us. That excellent defensive typing coming in clutch once again. Sure, we do have to take a couple of metal sounds lowering our special defense, but the rest of his team in the back is physical. One Iron Head for that is going to drop. Stone Edge dodge from the Caracosta doesn't even matter, and there we go. So not bad. Easy win right there. Sure, like I said, it was a tough battle, but with good planning, we made it work. So Ghetsis is going to throw his little tantrum, and then it's going to be up to us to take him down. So Ghetsis, much like Chantal, we pretty much only really have one strategy. We're going to set up a couple curses to get through the Cofagrigus. We don't have to worry about Resto Chesto on this one, or just rest, excuse me. Cofagrigus is going to drop. We get to level 69, nice. And then the Hydreigon comes out and cooks us with a Fire Blast. So I'm just going to take the Blackout right here. The end fight, while relatively consistent, is pretty long. So we're just going to take the Blackout and re-attempt this. Once again, we just kind of have to dodge a Fire Blast. That's about it. So Electros in the back also has a Flamethrower, so even if we dodge it, we're not necessarily safe. So we just have to set up a bunch of times and hope for the best. So let's go ahead and just skip right ahead to the winning attempt. And yeah, our reset counter only went up to 16, not bad. So we're actually able to get through this at a relatively good pace. We do have to set up quite a few curses for that Electros in the back. So we're going to Iron Head, Cofagrigus is going to go down, Hydreigon's going to come out, dodge the Fire Blast, let's go. The Electros comes out, we do live the Flamethrower very comfortably actually, and all that's left is the Bouffalant and Pals. So that's going to go down. Seismitone's going to come out. I'm going to take this opportunity to rest up because he does have a couple special moves and he can be a little bit inconsistent with potential accuracy drops from Muddy Water, but no problems there. Bulldoze onto his final Bisharp, and that is going to go down, getting us to level 70. Didn't quite get to finish on the nice number, but it is what it is, and not bad. Let's go. So yeah, obviously Chantal, Ghetsis, those two fights that I literally don't, the only real play I have is just hope for a Fire Blast dodge. Can go way worse, but we just got good luck this run. I mean, like, I don't know what else to say. Like, luck is just one of those things. So, and as we wrap up our time here, we do see we have a final time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 24 seconds with 10 blackouts and 16 resets. We got a sub-out 2 hour time with a Pokemon like this. I am honestly pretty dang impressed. That not bad. This was actually way more fun than I thought. Like, I really like these Pokemon that just make me think a lot more. Like, sure, sometimes it's fun to just plow through the game with like a super broken Pokemon, but you know, Ferrothorn and stuff like that, it's like I actually had to think a little bit more with some of these strategies. Yeah, there's two of those in-game fights, you know, it just kind of comes down to luck, sure, but like other than that, like, yeah, it's a pretty cool run. So let's wrap up the credits and rank this guy. And there you have it, a final in-game time of 5 hours and 21 minutes. And as we bring in the tier list, it's actually in the D tier. It got a better time than Volcarona. That is crazy. Let's go. So yeah, that is actually fantastic. Were you surprised as much as I was that this Pokemon, how well this Pokemon did? Yeah, some of the fights were really bad, but honestly, there was only like 3 major problem points in the run. It was like that end fight in Nimbasa, Chantal, and Ghetsis. Other than that, we really didn't struggle too much, which is really cool. So I really enjoyed this run a lot. You know, like I said, sometimes when I have to think a little bit more, I just enjoy those Pokemon a lot more than just brain dead a masher through the game. So, you know, that's pretty cool. So anyway, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be sure to come back next time because I'm going to be doing my first trade evolution Pokemon, Conkeldurr. So this is definitely going to be a very interesting one. And we'll have to address the whole trade evolution in a solo run kind of thing. So, you know, see how I handle that. So, anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Like, comment, sub, all that fun stuff. I love you all. Deuces.